Yes.
Yes. By default, it will be
Okay.
recorded. Umar and Sagarka. Yeah,
Sure.
fine. So you can just see. So it's recording icon, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm
fine.
sorry. Yes. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, yeah. So we just had a discussion about what do you call the course coverage of what would be covered as part of this particular program. And prior to that, I was trying to talk about the life cycle, right? Which is Informatica Information Management life cycle. I didn't talk about it in detail, so probably I'll try to get in there with more details. After that, we will get into IACS or Informatica Cloud Architecture, where we are going to see different components that we have underneath and how those components talk to each other, right? So that's what is the plan for today's program. Yeah, fine. Let me try to share my desktop. Okay. I'll just cover at high level this life cycle because you have base on other warehousing tools, right? So I don't need to get into the deeper aspects of life cycle. Yeah, yeah. I think as I said earlier, we have got access layer, then discover, then we have a cleanse, then followed by MDM, then integration, then followed by, let's say, deliver layer. And finally, the result will be sent to the final target, which we call enterprise data warehouse. Yes, sir. So these are the multiple layers that we could think of as part of any information management product. Yes or no? Yeah. So as we all know that access layer where we could get the data from one or more systems where data could be of any type like a structured data, unstructured data, application oriented data and legacy data, artificial intelligence and machine learning data, right? But we don't care like what kind of data that we get it. What we care here is could we able to read the data from the appropriate source system or not? Yeah. So that's going to be the question mark, right? So that we take care by using this particular access layer, right? Now, once we are done with it, I think I've given a couple of examples like under structured, what kind of example that we could think. Yes or no, guys? We talked about flat
Yes.
file,
Yes.
XML.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yes, we talked about it. And once we do that, then discover. So discover is one of the important topic here. I to see discover means we can think of multiple synonyms over here, like analysis, understand, identifying issues, or it could be profiling, yeah, or it could be even explore. Yeah, all are synonyms, guys. So we don't need to get into confusion mode. So these are all one and the same. In the sense, once you get the data from any source system, right? The first and foremost thing that we do here is we need to understand like what kind of data that we got from respective source systems, right? So to understand that, this particular layer is going to help us remember that. Yeah. To perform that, we've got a different profiling technique supported by relevant tools. If you take Informatica product suite, where we can see we have got Informatica Analyst and Informatica Data Explorer, and each of this profiler or profiling tool has got its own capabilities. For instance, if you take Informatica Analyst, where we have got a column profiling, we got a rule-based profiling, we got a scorecarding, fixing bad data, fixing duplicate report, reference table management, all that. But ultimately, all of those features are going to help us in order to carry out analysis. Just remember that line, because this is a separate program altogether. That's why I'm not getting into the details. So, and yeah. ultimately what we do here, the bottom line here is that to identify issues here. Now, once we are done with that, output of this particular layer, which is discover layer, that we taken as input to the downstream layer, which we call cleanse. So cleanse is a layer which is going to help us in order to fix the issues that have been identified as part of discover layer, which means discover layer has been designed to identify issues, and cleanse layer, it has been designed to fix those issues. Just remember that. In the sense, both discover and cleanse are part of what? Data quality. Remember that. I repeat, both discover and cleanse, they are part of what? Data quality. Which means we identify issues, we fix those issues. So those two aspects we take care as part of what? Cleanse. Right? So, but as part of fixing, what all we do? For example, if you have identified null issues as part of discover, fix those null issues, like replace null with meaningful value and so on. There are many ways to fix null issues, right? So that's where we do as part of cleanse layer. Similarly, taking care of spaces, those things also we take care as part of cleanse. Or let's say we have got what you call column issues with respect to metadata, that also be fixed over here. Then let us say we have got issues with respect to what primary keys or whatever, or let us say standardization issues. Let me take one real-time example. Standardization issues. Yeah, example, standardization means, let's say we got multiple states in AP, right? Sorry, in India, right? Let's say we got AP, we got Telangana, and we got let's say Maharashtra, then we got Karnataka, and so on. And each state, let's say they got their own way of representing what we call country codes. Let's say here they represent by using IND. Here let's say IN. Here let's say IN dot. Here let's say I or whatever. Yeah. Now the question, these are issues, right? Because if you think from India perspective, we just have to follow one unique representation. But each state they're following their own representation. Now what we need to do? These are the issues. Now we need to fix it. To fix it, we use what? Standardization, which is part of cleanse. What it does, it's going to convert n number of representations to single and unique representation, which we call data standardization. Meaning what? IND, then IN, then IN dot, then I. All of them will be converted to what we call single and unique representation. In this case, you could able to see what? Indie. So that's an example. So this is a simple way to fix the issues that have been identified as part of what? Discover layer. Clear, right? If you have any questions, right, in between, please try to stop and ask question. Anytime you can ask any kind of question, I'll answer that. Fine?
Sure. Yes, no problem.
Yeah, fine. So that's it. This is a one realistic example which I was trying to give when it comes to what both the layers. Yeah. So now the question: can we take care anything and everything by using what cleanse layer in terms of fixing the issues? Answer is no. That is where MDM, which is master data management. Yeah. So this layer, which is MDM layer, it has been designed one to identify duplicate records, second to fix those duplicate records and perform what merge.
Quick question, instructor. I believe the integration happens first, and then you go ahead and consolidate the record using the match and merge. So the MDM should not be coming after the integration part is complete.
No, 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 no. Yeah, that's where the people would make a mistake. See, probably ETL we can use it to just to read as part of access to answer a
Uh-huh.
question. Huh? But we don't
Mhm.
apply transformation logic here. But we use it only just to read, right? But after reading, right? Probably I'll give one realistic example. Yeah. Let us say there are two banks. Yeah. So bank one and bank two. Clear, right? And then And then let us say we've got name column, then address column. Yeah. And name, let us say here, let's say uh, Umar, and then let's say address, street number, street name, and other address elements, right? So that's fine. Now, let's say here you have given Umer, right? Fine. Then let's say null or partial address has been given here. Now, let
Okay.
us say, yeah, let us say these two records are what? Belonging to the same customer, which
Correct.
is Umar customer. Let us say,
Yes.
assume that. Yeah. Assuming that these two are what? Duplicate
Duplicate.
records.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now let us say there is a merger happened between these two banks. Let's say Umar is
Okay.
holding the account in both the banks. Yes or no? Now
Mm-hmm.
there is a merger happened. Yes or no? After
Yes.
merger, after merger, what we need to do? We need to retain
Mm-hmm.
one one
Yes.
data for each customer or one entry for each customer. Yes or no?
Yes.
Or one record for each customer. Now, if you go with the ETL, tell me how to remove duplicates in ETL. So, remove duplicates would take place based on what? Based on what? Row level or record level. Meaning what?
Correct.
Either first record or second record would be retained. Meaning,
Mm-hmm.
let's retain first row, this will be retained. Yeah? Second row will be gone. One of them will be retained, right? But
Mm-hmm.
take the second one, first row will be gone. But but if you want to get the right data, right? So here we got a good data with respect to name from the second record. But if you take address, we got it in first record. Now the question, can we create the record, which is a quality record, which is a combination of data from two source systems? Answer is no. Can we do it in ETL? Answer is no. That is where ETL tools are going to fail. So then who is going to solve this problem? Either clans or MDM. That is why here, here what we do, this record, right? Like whatever we are talking here, right? That will
Mm-hmm.
be created by using clans with MDM so that
Correct.
after that, ETL tools would come in. You got right? Because if you directly use ETL tools, simple realistic problem I said, right? There is a chance to get what? Wrong data. This is a wrong data, right? It's not a complete full data. Address wise it's good, but name wise it's not good. Yes or no? We are failing here. So that we could solve by introducing what? Clans with MDM. So that's why we need to use clans MDM before ETL. Remember that. But as you said rightly, we can also use ETL for what? Just to read, which means E. That's all. No T. You got right? We just read
Mm-hmm.
with that. Rest,
Okay.
identifying issues, fix those issues, come up with the good data. Then that good data will be taken as input to what? Integration layer. I hope we got the right. You got it right, Amit?
Correct. But one of my project where I worked, actually, there was they were doing some before I mean, access is definitely one of the first thing that you have to read the data first. But we were doing the profiling first. That was my very first project in 2014. Did I when I start working, right? So in
Profiling.
2014, yeah, we did some profiling in the IDQ, and then we analyze, okay, what is the low level, like minimum record, highest record, what is the granular, how can we come up with a composite key, all these things, issues that we identified during the discover. And then we started creating MDM landing tables where we loaded the data through ETL. Yeah, there were no transformation involved, I understand. It was like
Yes,
reading straight from source and loading into the MDM landing table, and then the MDM happened, which completed their match and merge process and creating fuzzy logic and all those things using the
exactly.
MDM. But there was no
Yes.
integration concept after the MDM because they already had a master data loaded in their
Hmm.
MDM based object tables, right?
Hmm.
So they were
That's correct.
directly. putting. So
Yeah.
I'm just trying to understand, the clans should not be coming before the access in this case, or I completely understand MDM part is happening after clans here, but that project where we implemented was completely, we were cleansing the data, coming up with standardization, making sure everything is fine, coming up with the discovery, during the discovery layer, discover. So we had like a discover, ETL access layer, and then MDM portion. So there was no integration after the MDM was happened.
Okay. So yeah, yeah, it all depends how people would design. But once you get accurate data, right? After that, we could do like whatever you want. You got right. But that's
Mm-hmm.
ultimate goal here. Whether you perform integration or not, but
Uh-huh.
logically, integration data should take what accurate data as input. Yeah.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
But if you try to apply, I have just that's why to avoid that confusion, right? I have given a realistic scenario. Yeah,
Uh-huh. No, I
where
completely understand the part here.
yeah, in this case, yes, directly if you use integration, we are going to fail. I think I talked about right. Yes or no? So
Yes,
that we
correct.
can solve by introducing clans with MDM. Yeah, clans we take care of fixing standardization issues or any other cleansing issues. Then we apply MDM to take care of match and merge. Then we got good data. After that, if you want to apply integration rules like lookup or what do you call even to perform SCD operation, say type 2, type 3, whatever, right? So
Mm-hmm.
those things we do it as part of integration. Then
Okay.
output of that will be sent to or will be delivered to a final target, which is enterprise data
The first
warehouse.
level. Yes.
Got right?
Mhm. Yep.
So this is a flow actually, Umesh. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, fine. So that's it about this particular life cycle. So, Sagarika, any questions in this?
No, it's fine.
So that's it. This is just a flow, just to get high level perspective. I talked about it. Now let us get into what understanding the architecture. Yeah. So I think high level I just talked about it, but I didn't get into the details. Yeah, today
Yes.
we'll try to get in there. Yeah. Yeah. So as we discussed yesterday, so broadly speaking, there are two layers here. Yeah. One is a cloud layer. Second is what? On-prem layer.
On-premise.
Yes. Yeah. So on-prem means local. So local means you'll have some utility to take care of data transfer. What is that utility? Secure agent. Yeah. So which means we have control on this. Cloud we don't have control. So that's why in local itself we install a separate agent, a separate utility, a separate what we call service. Yeah. So that's what we call Informatica Cloud Secure Agent. Yeah. So we need to make sure that this particular service has been installed and up and running. So let me just show that. Yeah, can you see here? Informatica Cloud Secure Agent. This should be up and running. You got right?
Okay. Yes.
Now, why do we need that? One, to take care of data transfer between on-prem to cloud or cloud to on-prem. That's why we can see thick line with the arrow on the both the sides, and we can say bidirectional arrow. So we can transfer data from on-prem to cloud or vice versa. Fine, that's it. Now the question, in order to perform this particular data transfer or data movement operation, we have to have metadata. Who maintains this metadata? Informatica. Where? Informatica Cloud Repository. To do that, How does it happen? In on-prem, let's say we build a mapping. If you save it, where does it get stored? Informatica Cloud Repository. That's what we can see. Dotted line with arrow indicates what? Metadata. Yeah, that's one side of it. Now, when you try to transfer data, right, it will pull metadata from Informatica Cloud Repository, get it transferred to what? Either cloud or to on-prem, whatever. That's what happens. Yeah, simple way to understand how this particular architecture is going to work. Now, let us talk about next level. So, this extension to the previous diagram, right? Yes or no?
Correct.
Now, on the right side, we can see what? On-prem layer. On the left side is a cloud layer. Yeah? So now here, let us talk about metadata. So can you see in the bottom part? So when you try to create some mapping in local, right? Yes or no?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Then when you save it, where does it get stored? Can you see here? One. Then through HTTPS, it will be saved where? Informatica Cloud Repository. Yeah. And what it uses? It uses what? HTTPS protocol. Remember that. Which means from on-prem to cloud, we interact by using what? HTTPS protocol. Clear, no? Using
Yes.
that protocol, one can perform different kinds of metadata operations like create metadata, modify metadata, consume metadata, delete metadata, and so on. So all meta operations would be taken care of, and then result of that would be reflected in Informatica Cloud Repository.
Can
Clear,
I'm
right?
sorry. Can you explain again, please? I was
Yes,
diverted to something else.
yes, Umar?
Can you repeat again, please, this
Yeah,
concept because I was diverted to something else, so
yeah.
could not
So
really focus.
first thing is what? Metadata, right?
Uh huh.
So let us say, for example, we have got on mapping. Now, when you created a mapping, when you save it, then where does it get stored? It will be saved in Informatica Cloud Repository. Yes or no? So
Yes.
Informatica Cloud
So, are
Repository.
you talking about creating a mapping on the on-prem
Yes.
repository? So,
On, yeah, on-prem we are creating it, and after that we are clicking save. Then if you say save it, it will be saved in Informatica Cloud Repository.
what about
That's
the
what
Informatica OPB tables repository where it usually gets stored? It will be getting stored over there as well.
everything in Informatica Cloud Repository only. Yeah. So we don't have any control because Informatica maintains that. Umar. Fine. Clear, right? Umar?
No, my question is, let's say you have your Informatica installed on your computer, right? So you
No,
store
no,
it.
no. We don't install. We install only agent.
Okay, okay, okay,
We
okay, okay,
don't
okay.
install Informatica in local. That's what is the what you call power of Informatica Cloud, which
Okay,
means
okay.
you don't need to install, we don't need to configure, we don't need to maintain like installing
No, I
patch.
okay, that's fine. I completely understand. Okay, that's fine. I
You
thought
got
you
it.
were talking about the on-prem. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, you got right. Yeah. So which
Yes,
means when you say save it, it will be saved in Informatica Cloud repository. Same thing. When you
correct.
delete also, it
Yeah,
will be reflected here. And when you modify also, it will be reflected here. That's what I was trying
correct.
to talk.
Correct. All the
Yeah.
metadata will be updated. Correct. Agree.
Yeah. In Power Center concept is different. Yeah, that is
Correct.
different. That
Yes.
because we install it, right? So we have
Yes.
control on that. Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah, fine. Now, same way, configuration part. Configuration means we can also create users, groups, roles, and assign user to a group, user to a role, or group to a role, whatever. They're all part of what? Configuration. You got right? Plus, we could also take care of administration. Like, for example, let's say we got agent. An agent need to be customized in such a way that it has to work based on our own requirements. Those things also we take care as part of what administration activities. Likewise, you got some more. I'm trying to give one example for each. Yeah, I'm going to what you could talk about most of the practical examples in metadata part, configuration part, administration. Once you get into practical stuff, yeah.
Sure.
So that's
Mhm.
it, and then result of that will be reflected in repository. So that is the
Correct.
first thing, right? It is metadata part, right? Now
Yes.
the question: once we have metadata, right? So how are we going to make use of that particular metadata to perform what data operations? Yes or
Uh-huh.
no? Yeah.
Yes.
So to do that, top layer comes in here. Top in the sense from left to right. See here. Now let us say we build a mapping. When you run it, then what happens from local data should be transferred to what cloud? How?
Correct.
By using either HTTP protocol or by using SOAP protocol. Yeah. So one of these protocols will be used to transfer data from on-prem to what you call cloud and vice versa. Data can also come from cloud to on-prem, like Amazon to flat file, or Salesforce to flat file, or NetSuite to flat file, or Google Cloud to flat file, right? Anything can happen. Clear, right? So that's
Yes.
it. So this is how what you call agent is going to help us. Like I was trying to show this agent, right? If your
Correct.
agent, it can
Mm-hmm.
move data from, it will pick the data from local and get it transferred to cloud by using one of these protocols. That's a flow.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it. This is second level. Now third level, can you see this diagram, right? You can see. Yeah. So now it has got some more information of what here we discuss high level. Next level we talked about other slide. Now third level we are trying to talk. Same architecture only. Yeah. So here in the bottom layer is a on-prem layer and top layer is what? Cloud layer. That's the first thing. Now let's focus on bottom first. So let us say if you want to log on, see, if you want to perform any metadata operation, right? We need to log in, right? Yes or no? To log
Mm-hmm.
in, so we use appropriate authentication. That authentication could be based on what? Third party, or it could be inbuilt authentication. That if
Mm-hmm.
it's third party, we can use like a LDAP or some other third
Correct.
party authentication. So that's where identity file will be used. Using that, we could be able to log on to this web client. Right? So once you log in, next step. Yeah. So it will make use of appropriate services, which we call Informatica Intelligent Cloud Services. Yeah.
Okay.
Fine. That's a starting point. We logged in. Once you
Correct.
log in, then we can start performing any meta operations. To do that also, we use what?
Informatica.
Microservices. Like for example, if you want to perform any repository operations, right? We need repository service. Like in Power Center, we use Power Center repository service, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Like to create a folder, modify a folder, right? And if it says save it, Power Center repository service will be used. Yes or no? Now the
Yes.
question here, how we can perform meta operations? That's where Informatica Cloud Repository Service. You got right? Then based on that, it will be stored in what this particular repository, which is Informatica Cloud Repository, right? So request will be sent here. It will service it, and this result of that will be stored in what? Appropriate repository. That's over. Now the next question. Now we need to get into data. Data. Let's say we need to transfer data from SQL Server to what cloud. To do that, we use what? Secure agent. Yes or no? So which means this agent, it is going to pull metadata. Metadata contains from and to, like a source, destination, all that, right? So it knows from where it has to pick the data to where it has to send the data. So this agent will take care of getting the data, let's say from SQL Server example, and send it to what? Salesforce. So that will take place by using what? HTTPS protocol. Clear, no? So this is a one flow. Same way, We can also pull the data from Salesforce to what we call SQL Server. Again, here also, it will pull metadata where let's say Salesforce is the source and target is SQL Server. Based on that, Secure Agent will pull the data from Salesforce, get it transferred to what? SQL Server by using HTTPS protocol. That's it. So that's clear, right? Now,
Correct.
now
Yes.
another part which I did not talk about it is what? Let us say we need to transfer data from cloud to cloud. Yeah. Let's say we have a Salesforce which has to be transferred to what? Some other cloud. It could be Informatica cloud or it could be something else. Yes or no? How
Mm-hmm.
do we do that? That's where we got another agent which we call cloud hosted agent or Informatica secure agent. Yes or no? This particular agent will take responsibility of transferring the data from one cloud to other cloud. That's what we can see as part of what Informatica secure agent. Yes, sir. Yeah. So which
Okay.
is usually we take care of cloud to cloud communication by using what cloud hosted agent,
Mm-hmm.
which is installed once you register what Informatica Cloud. We don't need to install it explicitly, but whatever we discuss in the local agent, right, that has to be installed by ourselves. Remember that. This
Okay.
we have a control. This we don't have a control. Remember that, right? So that's it. So these are the multiple flows that we could see as part of this particular Informatica Cloud architecture. Now it's your turn to ask any kind of question.
No, I think I'm fine. So, quick question: Informatica Secure Agent. You are saying we don't have to install. I completely understand. It is automatically.
No,
So,
You have to install it, right?
this
Informatica
agent we
security.
don't need to install. This has to be installed by ourselves.
correct. Yeah. No, Secure Agent we have to install on our machine, but Informatica, the cloud Secure Agent, would be automatically. Is it specifically for each account that it is created, or how it is created? Just trying to understand how this Informatica cloud Secure Agent is created.
Yes. Once you subscribe, right, there'll be a user registered for it. For every user, there'll be a corresponding agent.
Correct. Okay. This is what the question was. Okay. That's fine. There will be a secure agent they will be creating per
Exactly.
account.
Yeah. For instance, let's say we have got in this environment, right? I've just installed it. Yeah. So there is a secure agent which is up and running. Now, let me try to log in. We can see it practically. So, so this is a URL that we supply. This is a HTTPS link. Yeah. Let me copy it into this.
Is it
Yeah. Can you
possible
see
you
here?
can send us, yes, in the email also, so that if you need to access. So, do we have to register, or anyone can log into this
No,
URL?
no. Before we get in here, we need to first register. After that only, you'll get this link by an email.
Okay.
After that, you can start making use of this link.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah. Yes. Now we could able to see log on page, right? Let us try to get in there. See, now we are using HTTPS protocol, right? That's what we discussed as part of architecture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, once we log in, right, we could able to see all the services offered by Informatica, like data integration service, data profiling service, data quality service, administrator service, and so on. Yeah. So we have got license for these services. Besides to that, we also have got other services which are grayed out, which we do not have a license for it. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's it. So now, out of n number of services, our primary focus point should be based on what? Data integration, because we
Mhm.
are going to focus on how well we could able to perform ETL operations. To do that, we use this particular service. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So now it is trying to get in there.
So the quick question is how different the expression transformation is at the cloud level versus on-prem Informatica, like the power center. Is it really? I know the variable concept is not going to change, and the way that you like any transformation logic, right? It does not going to change. So only the matter of the GUI is a little different.
That's the one thing. Apart from that, it's easy to integrate with third-party applications in Informatica Cloud. So which is not quite easy in Power Center. Plus, the plus, we don't need to think on building a logic so much as part of Informatica Cloud because we already have got pre-built templates which can be taken as a base to build a solution rather than coding it. So likewise, you've got some more features within this, not only expression transformation, even with other transformations as well.
Okay. No, I was just asking. I will get to know exactly as we go along and move on to the
Yes,
development
exactly.
phase. Correct.
We are going to see it anyway, but compared to Power Center, Cloud has got advanced capabilities, you can say. You can just remember that. But this is applicable for each and every transformation. But there are some limitations also. Power Center has got some good capabilities over Informatica Cloud, but that's very less compared to other way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
Okay.
So see, if you look at in the current market, right, most of the customers are moving towards what? Informatica
Cloud.
Cloud. Not only that,
Correct.
and many customers, they are happy with this Informatica Cloud because they don't need to depend on developers much. Yeah, because as I said earlier, we have got a pre-built templates. Those templates can be used by customers directly without dependent on developers. Now, which means developers, they don't need to build mapping or transformations, whatever, right? They don't need to do that. Without that also, there are some pre-built templates in which are available in terms of a task or task flows. Those flows can be used by customer directly by supplying some input, and they can see the corresponding response. Such things are not available in Power Center. Power Center, everything would be driven through developer only. Developer, they are to build like source, target, transformation, mappings, or maplets, or tasks, or workflows, whatever, right? After that, you
Yes.
deploy it, then only customers can start using it. So that much is not required in the context of Informatica Cloud.
Okay.
Umesh, and yeah. Now, if you look at this particular runtime environments, right? So we have got only one here. So which is, you can see here, right? This is a runtime environment. There's only one. Yeah. But remember, we can have more than one agent. For example, can we have more than one Power Center integration service in Power Center? Answer is what?
Yes.
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 No? Uh, but port number should be different. Same way, we can have multiple local agents or multiple secure agents. Clear, right? So why do we need it? One, to get a final degree of parallelism. Why? Let us say we need to process very large data in a short time. In that case, we can distribute data across multiple agents so that things would happen faster than expected, right? So that's one
Mhm.
example. Likewise, you can think of many more examples where there is a need to think of using multiple secure agents. Yeah,
Okay.
fine. So that's the agent part. And connections, yes. Connections, as we discussed, access layer, right? Where we use this connection to pull the data. So that's
Correct.
where connections would come in. Yeah? So
Uh,
now if you say new,
that
yes,
one
please.
running environment means one secure agent.
Yes. One runtime environment means there's only one install as part of this. So that's what we can see
No,
here.
that-
Services list,
that's
right?
the
There's only one.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But we can install more than one also, right? So more than one is same system, or we can also have one agent on your system, one agent on my system, some other agent, some other system. And those three agents can be used by what we call multiple task flows. One task flow pointing to one agent, second task flow pointing to some other agent, and so on. Yeah? So that way also can be done, which means the distribution of agents can take place with relevant data in the same physical box or across n number of physical boxes. Clear, right?
Okay.
But anyway, that's a bit advanced. Yes, I'm just trying to answer a question. Yeah? There's only one in this environment for now. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that's it. The now we are in data integration, right? Assuming that this agent has been installed. Well, I'll just share the link so that you guys can get it registered. After that, I'll talk about like how to get it installed, right? So next step is what? Once we install an agent, right? We have got multiple assets supported by Informatica Cloud, right? And all of those assets can be seen over here. And those assets would be expressed in terms of what? Tasks, mappings, maplets, task flows, and components, right? So that's it. Yeah? So now, the first and foremost thing, let us say we are trying to build a mapping, which is similar to power center mapping. Yeah. So, but yeah, here we got some more extra things that anyway we'll see. Yeah. Anyway, you guys are aware of this power center, right? So it's easy for all of you to understand this. Yeah. Fine. Then create. Yeah. See, when you create a mapping, by default you'll get what? Source and target. These are transformation. Is a transformation here. You can see palette, right? It's a design palette where we can see source transformation, target transformation, aggregator transformation, cleanse transformation, and so on. So we can see n number of transformations supported by Informatica Cloud Data Integration Service, right? So that's it. Yeah. And then we can configure source and target, simple straight through mapping, where whatever data that were in the source, same thing will be transferred to your target. This is just to understand the environment of Informatica Cloud, right? And then configure the source. Yeah. When you try to configure the source, now let's say new connection. So now can you see here? Now where we need to configure a type of source that we use. Is it going to be ODBC based or flat file or Salesforce, whatever? So we can see different types of, let's say, connectors or connection types. Clear, right? Let's say to
Mhm.
start with, we are going with what? A flat file. Now the question, from which environment this flat file will be used? That's where runtime environment is going to play very key role over here. If you have multiple runtime environments, right? Here itself, we can select to which environment or which runtime environment that we are going to use to perform the data transfer. For instance, let's say in this, we have got only one agent. That's why we have just selected it. Clear, right? Which means at the time of creation of a mapping itself, we can point to the appropriate agent. That's one way. Or if you parameterize it, we can also supply this runtime environment while running any mapping or task flow, right? So both are possible here. We are trying to talk about one of the possible option, which is supply this agent at the time of mapping configuration, right? And then supply the location where we have got what do you call the flat file. Let's say C source. If you go to local, where we got C drive and source folder, in that we could able to see some sample files. Yeah. If you don't have it, is also fine. We can have simple empty folder and start creating our own sample data and get the data used to transfer it. Yeah. So yes, this is what we need to supply. And then here we can have the connection name, which is, let's say, fat file connection. That's it. Yeah. So yeah, now will it work? Answer is no, because this agent is not ready to use. Let us test that. See here, there is no active secure agent, meaning what? Agent should be active before we start making use of it. Why it is not active? We can verify that. If we just go to this particular what home, right? Can you see here? Not all services active. That is why
Okay.
make it active. Then only we can start making use of it. Right? For example, in power center, right? When you
Integration
try
service are down.
to,
Yes.
so we need to have one power center integration service
Correct.
up and running. Then only we can assign that service. Yes or no? Same
Yeah.
concept holds good here. So we can compare this with what? Integration service in the power center. Clear, right? So that's it. So we'll try to make it active on tomorrow's session. And from then on, we'll get into the next topic. Fine, right?
Yes.
Yeah. If you have any questions till now, you can just shoot out, or else we'll stop here.
So how did you make it active? You just clicked on that thing. That's it.
Yeah, there are multiple ways to make it active. One, we can just stop agent and start it again. It will be
Mm-hmm.
active automatically. Second, we can also restart here. That's the second way. Yeah, right. So one option we are trying to. Yeah.
This is the way also we do in Power Center also, right? To make it.
Yes, Power Center. Yes, Power Center. There are also two ways, right? We can go to admin console and then enable the
Mm-hmm.
service. That's one thing, or restart, recycle the service. Yeah. And other way
Yes.
is what? If we try to what you call restart Informatica service, right? They'll be started
Mm-hmm.
automatically, right? That's another way. I'm trying to show
Yes.
one way, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Clear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Vipula, you can hear me, right? Vipula?
Yeah, I can hear you, Nashima.
Oh, sorry, actually, I think you got the message bit late, right? From tomorrow, it will be same time, Vipula,
Yeah,
8 a.m.
sure, sure.
IST.
That's okay. I didn't check my email. Nashima, can you share me the Friday and today's session by so that I can listen the missed part?
Recording, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. You'll get a link, Vipula.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's all for today, guys. We'll continue from here tomorrow. Fine.
Okay. So when do we need to
Same time.
install this Oracle? When are you going? When are we going to start with our actual installation part? So that I should
We'll see tomorrow.
tomorrow, right? So I should have Oracle or any database installed as of now.
No, that will take care of it. Don't worry. You don't need to install anything now. We'll start anyway from the scratch. I'll talk about it. Yeah?
No problem. Sure.
Okay. So thanks all, guys, and bye.
Thank you.
And can you please share your number so we can make a WhatsApp group?
Yes, yes. My number. One second.
Please send it in the email because once this meeting is over, it will be gone. So it will be
Yeah.
Okay.
easy for us.
That's the best. I'll send an email to all of you. Fine.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks to all. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.